Maybe. Give it a little shake. All right.
See, they're like, what'd you say?
I smell something.
Did you say fire? It's not good? Jackhawk 9000, available at Target. In old school, he's doing the like interpretive ribbon dance. Help me, Tom Cruise! Do these things ever go out? Maypacks, the official tampon in NASCAR. What if we add gasoline?
We're trying to put fire out.
Oh, sorry. I was going with Joe Dirt. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Chasing 518. Today, we light things on fire. I'm gonna do some fire extinguisher training with my friend here, Jason Green from the Wheeling Wine and Whiskey podcast.
Hey, how you doing, Kevin?
Good to see you, Jason.
What are we gonna learn about fire today?
We are gonna learn everything. We're gonna talk about the classes of fire, the ratings of fire extinguishers, the fire triangle,
Good.
and proper firefighting techniques.
Because a lot of us rednecks don't know anything about fire other than we like it.
That's right. Should we get started?
Let's get started.
Let's go.
All right, Kevin, we're here with a bunch of variety of fire extinguishers, but what makes you qualified to even talk about this? Because I don't think a lot of people know what you do for a living.
Jason, I've been a professional firefighter in Southern California for the last 18 years.
Right on. There you go. So you know a thing or two.
I know a thing or two about fire.
All right, and putting them out?
Better at starting them.
Okay, that's what most firefighter buddies are like that.
Yeah.
So anyways, so talk about these different fire extinguishers, because me as a layman, I'm like, these look the same, that's obviously different, and that one's a different color white. So talk about this, because I know very little about fire extinguishers.
Sure. Well, I think to properly talk about fire extinguishers, first we have to talk about classes of fire. A Class A fire is your ordinary combustibles.
Okay.
Right? Wood, paper. Class B is flammable liquids and gases. So for the race car community that we're talking about today, or the off-road community, we're talking about our gasolines, our transmission fluids, anything like that in the vehicle that could catch fire.
Okay.
Class C fires are what is an energized electrical fire. So now we're talking about a direct short to your battery, something like that. The
fuse.
Right,
a
corroded fuse. Your winch motor has shorted out, something like that, and now you actually have current flowing through something, overloading a circuit, causing a fire. And then a Class D fire is your combustible metals. So it's not as commonly seen for us in the off-road community, but in my line of work, we see that because they incorporate a lot of exotic metals into vehicles nowadays, magnesium, titanium. When those catch fire, they present different challenges for us.
And different colors.
And different colors. And then the last one is a Class K fire, which is a kitchen fire, like your grease fire on the stove. Now what you want to do is, based on the type of fire you have, you want to use the right extinguishing tool, right?
Right.
So it's very common. This one right here is a ABC rated extinguisher. So it will extinguish ordinary combustibles, flammable liquids and gases, and energized electrical fires.
Okay.
But it looks very similar to the one right next to it, which is only a BC extinguisher. So it would only be good for flammable liquids, gases, and energized electrical. So you want to make sure that you know what you're buying, because they obviously can all look the same. The rating, to dive further into it, so we'll take the ABC here, we'll take this one. So this extinguisher right here is a 2A 10BC. Now what 2 means is they assigned a numerical value to the equivalency of water.
Okay.
So a 1A is equivalent to 1 1/4 gallons of water, what it would effectively do on an ordinary combustible fire.
Okay.
So a 2A, this theoretically would do the same amount of work as 2.5 gallons of water on a Class A fire.
Okay.
And then when you get to the BC rating, the 10, that applies to square footage of surface area. So if you had 10 square feet of flammable liquid burning, this theoretically has enough dry chem and propellant inside of it to properly extinguish that.
Okay, yeah,
that's where they generate the rating system.
I was years old when I learned that. So what about the color? So white usually is associated with kitchen fires.
Yeah, they've sometimes you'll find a white fire extinguisher just because it looks more suitable in your home against your white walls than maybe a red extinguisher, but it doesn't necessarily designate that it's anything
that's
particular.
Not a way to judge it.
I mean, this is an ABC, just like this one is an ABC.
Got it. Okay.
But you can get K extinguishers for your kitchen grease fires, and they might be white also, so that it looks nice in your home.
Got it. Okay.
So you really have to, as much as we hate reading directions, you kind of need to read the label on a fire extinguisher.
And then what about the Element? Because we need to learn more about this, because there's a lot of misinformation going on out there.
That's right. This honestly is what brought us together today, because of all the circulated media on this device recently. This Element extinguisher doesn't operate the same as these dry chem extinguishers that we're used to, that we've grown up with, And
it doesn't look like a fire.
And it doesn't look like a fire. It looks like a road flare, right? It looks like it would start a fire, not put one out.
Right.
The way I understand the Element is that you are initiating a chemical reaction, and that chemical reaction is emitting a gas that bonds itself to the oxygen, rendering it unavailable to the fire.
So it's breaking one chain of that fire.
It's breaking the triangle. The fire triangle is a three-legged, think of it as a three-legged stool. So if you remove one of the three legs, the fire goes out or the stool falls over, and it's heat, fuel, and oxygen.
Okay.
So if you want to put a fire out, you have to remove one of the legs of that triangle. So if we use water, which leg are we typically knocking out?
Say heat. Heat.
Heat.
I think, yes. Thanks.
So if we apply water to a campfire, we're removing the heat, and we've left the fuel, right? The wood.
Fuel's still there,
right?
Okay.
And the oxygen is still in the environment. Right. If we if we throw a fire blanket over a pool of burning fluid, what leg are we removing?
Oxygen.
The oxygen leg, right? So I think you get the idea here. So the Element is attacking the oxygen leg of the fire triangle, not by displacing the oxygen and making the environment hazardous for us to breathe, but just by modifying the oxygen molecules, the way I understand it, and should break the chain of reaction causing fire.
And then so I'll jump in a little bit, because I got excited about these because of how small they are. Compact for a roll cage. They don't expire, because I'm guilty too. None of us get any of our fire extinguishers recertified unless we know a firefighter or work at a company that recertifies their fire extinguishers every year. It's 100% biodegradable in 20 minutes. So it's great for an engine fire where you don't have all the dry chemical that's corrosive on all your high dollar engine parts, components, right? That was what drew me to this. But there's a learning curve, just like anything else, right? And our kind of goal today is to see how to properly use this. One, how to light it, because apparently people online don't even know how to light the thing properly.
Yep.
So our goal is to educate people on what fire is, what causes it, how to put it out, and what the most effective fire extinguisher is for each one of those. Because there's no magic wand for all of them that, this is going to do everything. No.
Correct. Yeah, there's a right tool for a right job. And one of the race car analogies I've been making as we've been having these conversations is, I would carry 2 jacks on the car. I would carry a small, easily accessible, quick to use scissor jack to change a flat tire, but I also had a high lift jack that I could use to get the car out of a difficult situation should I need to, manipulate the vehicle.
One of the things you've always said, you've got a few of them, but one of the good ones is one is none.
Two is one.
2 is one, 1 is none.
That's right.
Right? And that's it. That's where, let's have a couple different types of fire extinguishers on our vehicles to get after this thing.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, so that's
you don't just carry an impact gun, you also carry a breaker bar, because there's going to come a time when the battery's dead, or it doesn't have the juice to knock the lug nuts loose or whatever.
There you go. 2 is one. One is none. There we go.
The other thing that people need to understand about extinguishing fires is there's multiple stages to a fire, right? So when a fire is lit, you're in the incipient stage of that fire.
Right.
Then it transitions to a growth phase where it's potentially doubling in size quite rapidly. Then you get to a what we would call fully involved or free burning stage, where now everything that is consumable is being consumed, and then after that it transitions into a decay phase. So really, regardless of what tool you have, these are really meant for that incipient stage fire that is still at a scale that can be
getting on it right away.
It can be managed.
All All right, we relocated. Camera got a little hot. You know, we're new to this YouTube thing, or at least I am. You're kind of somewhat of a YouTuber.
It's what is it? Mid-November in California. It's rough out here.
You know, it's 12 degrees in Minden, Nevada right now, but no, we got to come to California where it's
where GoPros get overheated.
All right, so back at it here. Now I want to get into the chemicals because I know enough to be deadly with this fire stuff, I guess. Maybe that's not a good analogy, but I know that these get compacted because of the dry chemical in them.
Absolutely.
So talk about that aspect and what propels these and how that all works.
So yeah, the term we use for that, what you have inside this cylinder is a dry chemical, right? It could be, if it's an ABC, it's probably monoammonium phosphate. If it's just a BC, it's probably sodium bicarbonate. But that dry chemical extinguishing agent needs a propellant. So the cylinder is charged with nitrogen, I believe, and that is what would propel the cloud of white or yellow dust out to provide the extinguishment.
Okay.
The problem you have is the dry chemical sits in there, and gravity, and if it's in a car, can help compact it against the bottom. We might call that caking. So one of the things I'll typically do when I'm just inspecting an extinguisher is shake it, and you should be able to feel that material inside there moving.
And we'll get into using these, but I know I've been told you should shake it before you use it.
I think in the heat of the moment, that's unrealistic.
I know, it's like,
theoretically, you've done your monthly inspections and it's loose and it's not caked. If you have the wherewithal in the heat of battle.
But if you're on mile 86 of King of the Hammers, this thing's already compacted back down before you shook it in the last pit.
Or maybe it's been bouncing off the ceiling and the floor and the ceiling and the floor. So maybe it's well shaken, not stirred.
Okay, fair enough. That's the dry chemical there.
That's right.
The propellant is a gas of some sort.
Some sort of inert gas.
Okay. So how often do these that do have that set up need to be re-inspected legally, like if you were by the book?
Yeah, I mean, like when we go in and do business inspections and we inspect their extinguishers mounted on the walls near the exits, all those things, they're supposed to be doing their monthly checks and initial that.
Right.
But the extinguisher will have an expiration date as put on a punch card by an extinguisher servicing company.
Okay.
So we're just making sure it's within the compliance of that. For the racing, these ones have served us well because you can see the date stamped in the bottom.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, Ultra 4, for example, gives us the ability to either show them an extinguisher and show a receipt showing within 1 year of purchase, or within the time frame on the bottom before expiration.
So if you went and got this recertified, would they re-stamp the bottom, or
it
just
would
a tag?
It would get a tag or a sticker on the side, but honestly at the purchase price of this, the service fee would exceed the value there.
That was one thing that I was getting at.
Right. I think a lot of us in that community, we will put the fresh ones on the race car, you know, to kick off the year, start KOH.
Sure.
And then take the expired ones and maybe put them in chase trucks or things like that, or put them in the house.
Or Toyotas that you don't care about or something.
I don't know, yeah. Toyotas don't even have them.
Perfect. So I had to get my Toyota joke in there.
Take your Toyota digs.
So, like I mentioned earlier, the nice thing is that this doesn't expire.
Right.
Right? And it doesn't have a gas propellant per se, right? So that's why it works on a kitchen fire, because it's not blowing grease around in the kitchen and starting other fires in the kitchen.
Correct.
So yeah, that was one of the benefits that I really liked about it. But yeah, we're going to try.
I think one of the other big attractions to I mean, there's a couple right off the bat, right? Size and portability. You know, I'll drive a different car quite often, and I don't maybe have one of these in every vehicle, but something like this is appealing to me because I could keep it in my bag that goes with me from car to car. And so the portability of these, the packaging inside tighter, you know, rock crawlers or side-by-sides, and then the clean agent aspect of it. So you earlier mentioned the sodium bicarb or monoammonium phosphate discharge. It can be corrosive to the vehicle. It's certainly at best, it makes a giant mess that you're trying to clean up and shop back. This is a clean agent extinguisher. It's just a gaseous discharge. So if you get the fire out, you're done. There's nothing to clean up. Should we light some fires?
Let's start some fires.
All right, let's do it. All right, so now let's talk about activating the element extinguisher.
Okay.
The analogy I make is to that of a road flare. The technique that you would want to use is a touch abrasive, right, to the activator.
Okay.
And then you scratch it away. Now the away part is important, right? Because if it's a road flare and it's discharging fire and you scratch and draw towards you, well, now you just introduce fire to your body.
Gotcha.
So always try to scratch away.
Okay.
Right? And the same technique would work really well for the extinguisher, because that would automatically put you in the direction of extinguishing the fire.
Got it.
Does that make sense?
And the other thing, you don't need a lot of pressure. Right?
No, I mean you're not rubbing two sticks together here, you know, trying to create fire. You just need to take the sandpaper type material across the activator and get that process started. And then you are going to consume through whatever this little chemical is at the tip.
Yeah.
And it takes a little bit of time to get into the body of the road flare, and I think the element extinguisher is no different. So you need that chemical reaction to start at the tip and effectively transfer into the body of it to start using it.
Okay. And let's talk about how this puts out the fire. So you mentioned earlier, alluded to earlier, that it's breaking the oxygen chain of that fire triangle.
Disrupting the oxygen leg of the fire triangle.
Okay, all right. So with potassium ions. Yeah. Science. Okay, but so we don't get the instant gratification of using a dry chemical fire extinguisher that's instantly going to put out this fire.
Correct.
So it's going to take a few seconds for that to happen.
Yep.
Okay, so we got to envelop.
That's a good word. I like that. Envelop
the fire, the incipient fire, because we want to get on this right away.
That's right.
With the potassium ions that are coming out of this magic little tube here.
Yeah. So the more we can get that gaseous discharge to envelop the oxygen particles in the air, the better chance we have of taking away that leg of the fire triangle.
Got it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So what's your sequence going to be here? How do you?
Well, you're gonna.
What are your parts and pieces of an element?
Oh,
let me ask you that.
Okay, so I'm gonna pull off the protective cap.
Okay.
Okay, that exposes my striker tip there.
All right.
And then I got my abrasive that comes out of the back here, and I'm gonna touch and strike.
You just brought it towards your body.
Oh yeah. Oh, away. Yes,
away.
You're right.
All right. Well, now we've got our chafing dishes here with some fuel in them, and
Taco Tuesday.
That's right. We talked about touch and scratch.
Yes.
Right? So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and light the road flare, and I'll light all three pans on fire, and then you can strike the element, extinguish them, and as long as that thing's discharging, I'll just keep coming back and lighting them.
Okay.
And you can keep putting them out until that thing runs out.
Okay. Sounds good.
I want to note that we have our proper firefighting PPE on here. Well, our California shorts and sandals.
Real life stuff, right? I mean, you're not going to be wearing your fire suit when you're out. I mean, you do have a fire suit when you're racing, but not when you're out recreating.
Something we did talk about in how we wanted to film this was what is the proper attire when I'm at work. Obviously, I have a lot of stuff on. When I'm in a race car, I have a lot of stuff on. But Joe Schmo and his recreational rock crawler,
pretty much like you.
This might be the outfit, right? It also gives us an idea of the intensity of the heat and what is attainable with distance and approaching a fire.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Sound good?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Let's do it. Fire.
Touch and scratch.
Fire.
All right, so now we've gone through the tip and we're into the body of it. So we'll just go ahead and light. Woo. Now what we're burning right here is ethanol, so it's going to burn a little clearer, a little less smoke production. All right, go ahead, Jason.
I'm just going to touch it. So what was that, about 5 seconds?
If that. All right.
Okay. I'm not getting real close. But see, it's not instant. It takes a few seconds for it to put it out. That one was right away.
All right, so for our next test, Jason, we wanted to start, now that we've demonstrated clearly that the element suppresses fire, we wanted to create some race car or some scenarios, right? So one of the ones that we came up with was a piece of exhaust tubing wrapped in header wrap that a lot of us have on our cars. Then we'll simulate some sort of either transmission leak or power steering leak onto that.
So transmission fluid heating exhaust, super common off-road race car situation, hose line, transmission line blowing.
That's right.
And that's a lot of the fires that we see out there.
That's right.
So yeah,
So we're gonna put some transmission fluid on the header material. I'm gonna take my weed burner torch here and try and heat the tube up from the inside to simulate exhaust heat. And then we'll probably ignite it with the torch and let you come in with an element and see if we can put it out.
All right, cool.
Sound good?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Is that good?
That's nice.
Okay, there we go. We just blew a line. We got transmission fluid all over our exhaust. Auto ignition. Go ahead. Fire!
Fire! Fire! There it is. Okay. There we go. Took a few seconds, but it worked.
But the fire went out.
Fire went out.
That's not what happens on TV.
It needs more fire.
All right, so now what we're gonna do, Jason, is...
that was pretty cool, by the way.
That was pretty cool.
So now we're gonna get a little bit more real life.
Yeah, we didn't even have to apply a source of ignition. We just brought the transmission fluid up to its ignition temperature.
Okay.
What we're gonna do this time is the same thing, but I'm gonna take the drip pan and lay it over to make access difficult, because I think that's realistic in a vehicle fire, is that sometimes getting access with your extinguisher is difficult. So we'll do the same thing. We'll create a little bit of access difficulty, and then we'll go through the process again.
Okay.
Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. Gender,
Fire.
gender neutral shift fluid.
Juice. Yes.
Okay. I'm guessing it's just over 600 for transmission fluid.
Pretty good race we're having on.
Yeah.
Yeah, doing good. We in second place?
Yeah, we're kicking butt.
First place losers?
The race was going great until it wasn't.
Yeah. I kind of smell something burning.
Oh. What'd you say?
I smell something.
Did you say fire?
I say, we got fire.
All right, so now we'll create a little bit of access difficulty here.
Okay. All right.
We'll let the fire burn. So what's the process? We got to get out of the car.
We need to find our fire extinguisher.
We got to find our fire extinguisher. Okay, you pop that out.
Okay.
We get out of the car.
Okay, we're getting out of the car.
You now light your element.
Now I'm going to light the element.
And you go to work.
Okay, here we go. So now I got to get down in there.
So you're not moving it super fast. You're just kind of staying with it. Is it out?
A little bit more, a little bit more.
Okay.
Okay, it's out.
All right, let me light it again. Okay. I don't even know if we can light it again. There we go. All right, go ahead, put it out again.
Okay. So I'm learning as I'm using this more, Kevin.
Yeah.
That I'm watching the cloud as I'm doing it.
Okay.
To envelop the flame. I'm not waving this around like this, right? Trying to be patient with it.
Is it out again?
Oh, a little more right there.
I think if you could get it in that encapsulation, get that envelopment in there too, probably.
Yeah, the back side.
How'd we do? Did fire go out?
We're out.
Okay. All right, let's talk about how that went.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Definitely
a different, we were more realistic, I think, in that one.
I think so too. Yeah, creating some access difficulty. A couple things I noticed is that the way it was covered is when you apply the element to this side,
correct,
you're having a hard time creating that enveloping cloud on the back side.
Correct.
Right? So we saw that once you came around and even put a little bit of discharge in that void back there, that we got the rest of the extinguishment. Another thing that is very realistic, and I think we saw, you snuffed out the flames, but if this material is still at its at or above its auto ignition temperature, it's going to reignite.
Correct.
The same way it did when I heated it up.
Correct.
We never applied flame. It's just so hot that it is combusting.
That's a good point.
So you have to not only envelop it to take the oxygen leg off of the triangle,
Right.
but we also have to do that long enough for it to come down below its auto ignition temperature.
Makes sense. Okay. All right.
What did you think of that?
Yeah, that was great.
Okay.
I almost understood it. No, so yeah, and being patient is key. Now I know we're in a fixed environment here,
Sure.
and we're pretty calm right now.
Yep.
But in a serious situation, and I've been in a few of them, where you are running around like a chicken with your head cut off, and it's like, just take a second and evaluate. Right? Is that?
Right.
I mean,
That's right.
Want to be patient with it and not wave it around and get all,
There's no question that a fire is a very high stress environment.
Especially if it's your car.
Especially if it's your
Taking you
car.
6 years to build or something.
Man,
I
that
don't
would.
know anybody that takes that long. To build,
Yeah.
but anyway.
Wait, what? So staying calm, maintaining your composure,
Right.
that's super key, and then watching your progress, right? And fighting fire on a professional scale with our professional level tools is no different. We have to monitor our progress.
And you're
Right?
readjusting.
You don't
go.
just close your eyes and open the nozzle.
Okay.
You're monitoring the entire environment. You're monitoring your progress. Are we using the right tools? Are we at the right distance? At the right,
So you don't just
application
spray and
rate?
spray.
That's right.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Good. No, it's good. I like that demo.
Okay.
That was cool.
We want to think of some other possible car fire scenarios, right? So one of them could certainly be a gas leak.
Gas leak.
So
for
we've
sure.
got a 12-volt electric inline fuel pump, and we've filled the hose with some gasoline, put a little obstruction in the end, so when we power the pump, it should spray gasoline.
Simulating like an O-ring blowing and an
injector or
fuel rail
pinhole
line.
and a fuel line,
Yep.
something like that.
Okay.
So not sure how this is going to work, but we'll I'll pilot light it, we'll energize the pump, and we'll see what the spray of fire looks like. If we're able to sufficiently extinguish that fire, we've got a pan with some transmission fluid and a surface area style pool now,
Yes.
as opposed to a saturated like
So
our exhaust.
Simulate like a
skid plate holding some transmission fluid.
Okay. All right.
So once
like
you've got
that.
that running and you put this fire out, I'll bring this one over and we'll light it.
Okay.
And then you can come in and put that out too. We'll basically see how much fire we can extinguish
Okay.
in our Element E50
Okay.
runtime.
Correct.
Sound good?
I like it.
Okay. So just
Firemen starting the fires and I'm putting them out.
yeah,
Great.
I'm better at this. I almost think in the sake of time, you might as well just strike that thing off because we're just going to be blowing gas everywhere.
So?
Yeah.
Okay. You tell me when.
You strike it and I'll light a fire.
Okay. Here we go.
And then you could wait back there and come in. Oh my gosh, gas fire!
There it goes.
Nice.
I had to be patient.
All right,
with it.
here we go.
Get that one going.
Let's get this trans.
Maybe we should have brought the. Oh, you got it. Okay. And we're getting some wind right now too.
Yeah.
It went out right away.
Here, I'll even heat it. Go ahead. You still got runtime on that thing,
Yeah.
huh? Is that out?
And you're even getting. Let's let it cook for a second. I think we got about. No, I don't know. It's going.
You got one more in you?
I think so. Let's go. Oh.
Get it! Get it!
Oh, almost.
All right.
All right.
That's pretty. It's pretty
That
good.
was
That
impressive.
was a lot of firefighting. I feel like for.
That was a lot. So you saw I came around this way because the wind was blowing this
Right.
way, right?
Yeah.
So I was kind of in the heat. It was hot, and I'm
Yeah.
not wearing any protective equipment per se. So when I got in here, you saw it killed this part of the fire, but the gas that was down here was still going, right?
Sure.
And then I went over to here, and then that reignited.
Yeah.
And then the pan got so hot, it popped, right? Expanded. So anyways, that was pretty. Now we did kill the gas source.
But I
Ran out
mean,
of fuel.
like
How long was the fuel running for?
I don't. We'll have to check the timestamp on the video. Something I do think about with that, and it's really no different than a Class C and energized electrical. It's kind of fun to watch. Huh?
Yeah, still going.
No different than an energized electrical, where you would remove the electricity with the kill switch, right, to de-energize everything.
Sure.
Same with an active, like we had a pressurized fuel fire burning, right? Hopefully you kill
the kill switch, so
the kill switch, the battery switch, things like that. So you've taken away that pressurized fuel source, which is essentially what we did by letting it run out of fuel. Because you can clearly see if you left your fuel pump on, your electricity running, and you're trying to fight a fuel fire, you're just gonna have it feeding the fire, right? So I think that's another aspect of like the safety of a rock crawler or a race car. That's the reason the rule book says you have to have a kill switch that has to be accessible by driver and passenger while belted in. Because you need to kill the electricity and you need to kill the fuel flow while you're in the car, right?
Yes. All right. Well, that was good.
Man, we're just shake and bake.
Firefighter team here.
Shake and bake. So the Element E50 fire extinguisher, I want to show how easy it is to light. You think you can do it?
No.
Okay, well here, I'll show you how. So step one, look, it's even on the side. 4 steps. Can you remember 4 steps?
Sure.
Okay, step 1, pop the cap.
Okay.
Step 2, pull the plug out of the bottom.
Okay.
Step 3, touch.
Okay.
Step 4, scratch.
Okay.
Got it?
Got it. Am I gonna get smoke all in my face?
It's a non-toxic gaseous discharge. Now I wouldn't stick your mouth over it like a lollipop, but as long as you keep it at a distance in this well-ventilated area, I think you'll be fine.
How long is it gonna go?
For 50 seconds.
That's a long time.
That's why it's called the E50. But you're gonna go over there and then put out the fire with it. Okay, so just hold it in there and fog it out.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Step 1. Step 2. Touch. Scratch.
That's hot.
Okay, you're good. Fire's out. So what we've got here, Jason, is a BC extinguisher that is partially discharged. Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
We got some transmission fluid in this pan again. We got an ABC that's been in my garage for I don't know how long, so we might as well see if it even works.
Okay.
So let's talk about
technique.
proper dry chem extinguisher technique.
Yes.
So there's an acronym out there called PASS, P-A-S-S.
Okay.
Pull the pin.
Pull a pin.
Aim it at the base of the fire.
So that's the A. Okay.
That's
at
the
the
A.
base of the fire.
Yeah,
okay.
aim
How
at the
far
base.
away should I be?
You'll know once you start discharging
And you
if you're hitting your target or not.
isn't there a drug for that? Okay, go on.
Yeah. A lot of people get, the reason they say the base of the fire, a lot of people get caught up in the excitement of the fire, the flame, right?
Like too high.
Right, but we need to hit the base.
Emanating from.
Right.
Okay.
And then you're gonna squeeze, that's the first S.
Okay.
So squeeze the handle and then
Sweep.
the base of the fire. Nicely done.
All right.
Right? And the idea would be start at the leading edge,
Okay.
the one closest to you, and sweep across the base of the fire,
Okay.
smothering the fire with the dry chem off the edge.
Okay.
So if that one doesn't work or peters out before you get,
So I got back up.
you got to back up. Let's get this going here. Try and get it warm a little bit first. So again, just automatic transmission fluid, simulating like a skid plate fire. It's gonna take a little bit to get it hot.
Gender neutral shift juice.
There you go.
I feel like we should be using the big cord.
Could. Won't be so bad once we get it going.
Yep.
This is where you speed up the
Power of
this
editing.
is where you speed up the footage. So flash point of a flammable liquid is the temperature at which it emits sufficient vapor to, with an ignition source, flash,
Okay.
right? And then flame point or fire point is where the temperature where when it sees that same ignition source, it will continue to emit sufficient vapor to stay lit.
Okay.
Right, so we're past flash point.
Yep.
We're into fire point or flame point. So now we're, the fluid's hot enough that it's emitting vapor that's flammable. So we have a
Okay.
flammable vapor above our liquid.
Got it.
Cool?
I'm gonna pull
All
the
right,
pin.
I'm gonna get upwind to you so I don't
gonna
choke on this
aim.
stuff.
And then I'm gonna, what was it? The base.
Squeeze and sweep.
Squeeze and sweep. Okay. That has happened to me several times on the trail. Nothing.
Not just on the trail, I hear.
It's got in it, but it's done. Okay, so that's great. Thanks for playing. Okay, so now this one, the thing's broken. Let's see. There you go. Come on, baby. Now
That never happens to dry cams.
never happens on the trail.
Yeah, let's try this one.
Two. Now we got. Now this was.
This was an old 518 extinguisher.
Here we go. 518. God rest your soul. Here we go. Oh, hey. Okay.
All right. There you go.
So that did work. And you got quite the mess on your hands now.
Yep.
Good luck
Yeah, I
cleaning
got a
that up.
nice little slurry
looks
there.
Gnarly. That's like baby's first summer right there. Oh, okay. Well, you get to clean that up.
Yeah, thanks.
You bet.
How many extinguishers did that take?
That took 3.
3.
But that's classic. I mean, we knew the one wasn't good.
We knew one wasn't good.
It wasn't good. But
The other one we assumed
it
good,
was showing green.
right? This one,
This
one
wants to go.
you could just shake it out on it a little bit.
Maybe.
Just kind of.
Maybe. Give it a little shake. All right. So,
I feel like this is my experience with dry cams is, it goes back to our original statement this morning, right? 2 is 1, 1 is none.
exactly.
So that thing's been floating around in my garage
Yeah.
for who knows how many years, and I've always assumed it's gonna work.
Right.
And it didn't today.
I know.
So luckily we had a couple more lined up.
But again, and then to kind of wrap this thing up is like, you know, having a couple different types of fire extinguishers,
Absolutely.
right? Whatever
Yeah.
that is, and whatever you can get on the fire right away. I mean, the whole point of this is that safety.
That's
We
right.
don't want people getting hurt, 1. 2, don't want to burn down your $100,000 race car or $300,000 race car or whoever team you're running for. But it's critical, right? So that's what I said towards the beginning, was having that element that a driver passenger could grab
Right.
and get on the fire right away.
That's right.
And gives driver passenger time to get out of the car and get the external mounted fire extinguishers that are usually towards the back,
That's right.
that they can get on it. And then you got fellow racers hopefully coming by, and you have multiple fire extinguishers on this vehicle fire before it gets out of control.
And to that point, hopefully you're catching it in that incipient stage.
Correct.
Before it grows to a fully developed fire.
Correct. Exactly.
So, I mean, this is all what I feel like we've proven today is why the rule book states you're gonna have multiple suppression devices on your car.
Correct. And I also, patience is the key that I learned today.
Yep.
Of not, because the videos that I have seen online, people are going crazy with it.
A lot of
and,
excitement.
yeah, dancing around with the thing, and it's like, if you got to be patient and hold it. 1001, 1002, 1003, and let it envelop the fire.
Sure.
That was my takeaway from today, because you don't get that instant satisfaction of this blowing it out, but it clearly worked, and you don't have a mess to clean up afterwards. So,
Agreed.
nice job.
Cool.
Well, thank you, Mr. Fire Marshal
You're welcome.
Kevin. All right, let's see what's inside these things, shall we?
Because
we like to know how things work.
Well, yeah, like
right?
a true American, right? We got to take it
We
apart.
gotta take it apart. So this
All right.
thing's got to come apart. So
We know the magic's in this end.
I know this is like an aluminum tube, right?
Yeah, it feels metal.
Okay, so this has got to come off. So see if we can get that. Oh, there you go. Look at you, muscle man. Okay.
Felt? Is that
Something, yeah, something to prevent the heat. There you go.
felt? That didn't. Oh, here it comes.
Give it another whack.
Oh, we got another
there's
felt.
one.
Oh, shoot. Okay,
hey,
here we go. Here we go.
M80. Okay, all right. So there's 2 of these in there, and that's aluminum.
Yeah, aluminum tubing.
Okay.
probably.
Well, there's your components of Element Fire. I wonder if it'll work. Do you think it'll work if we put it back
I
together?
think we voided the warranty.
Did we void the warranty? What do we do?
Whatever. Stack it back in
Wait,
there.
Which end was which? Is it a negative, positive? Is it like a battery?
I don't think it's a battery. I think it's
look
just.
at that,
I think
though.
it's just a chemical. That was probably against the tip.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay,
Good.
yeah.
You're picking up what I'm putting down.
Yeah.
All right.
What if we add gasoline?
We're trying to put fire.
Oh, sorry. I was going with Joe Dirt. What we need here is
I
some.
think that was that a missing one?
There were 2 of them. There it is.
Oh. Okay. All right.
Okay.
There you go.
Kenna, you want to try and light this one? All right.
Okay. There you go. Walk her through.
Okay, here we go. Kenna, you ready? Here, come be my student. 4 steps. Ready?
Yeah.
1, take the cap off. 2, pull the yellow out of the bottom. I'll loosen it up for you maybe, okay? 3, touch the tips together and then rub them across each other real quick.
Okay.
You think you can do it?
Maybe.
All right. Give it a shot. 1. Get rid of that.
There you
go.
Good, with authority.
2, push them hard, like you're plugging a cord in, and then rub it off. Try it again. Try it again. I feel like you're gonna get it though. Yep. Oh, look at that!
Nice!
How old are you?
7.
Now what?
I don't know.
You wanna get rid of it?
Like a sparkler.
We feel like we need a fire.
Oh, we do need a fire.
Give me that, think you could, I don't know.
What do we got? What kind of thing we got?
Is that burning? You can literally like see when the cloud like takes it over. All right, that concludes this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something. I know I did.
Yeah, I'm over here. I got everything under control. We got, this guy doesn't even know what he's doing. Supposedly a firefighter.
Okay.
This is firefighter right here.
Your helmet's on backwards.
Oh. Okay, there we go. So what did we learn today, Kevin?
Well, I think we all learned a little something about fire extinguishers.
This thing's hot.
Fire safety. You're not even wearing half of it.
I know.
It's horrible.
It's big. It's moving around on me. No, I think that was really good. We got some good, as close to real life scenarios that we could do. We were trying to, like, we've seen a lot of videos.
Yep.
Not knocking any of the other videos out
Sure.
there, except the drunken guys around campfires at night.
Yep.
You know, yeah, we wanted to learn for ourselves. What works, what doesn't work, how does it work? So I appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
And, you know, trying this thing out and lighting stuff on fire in your yard. So that's pretty cool.
Sounds like a good day.
It was a great day, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. I get to keep this, don't I?
No.
Oh, come on.
All right, we'll see you all next time. Jackhawk 9000, available at Target. Maypacks, the official tampon in NASCAR. I feel like I'm on fire. I feel like I'm on fire.
You're not on fire.
I'm not on fire?
No, you're not on fire.
I'm on fire.
Kevin, you're not on fire. Kevin,
I'm on fire.
you're not on fire.
I'm on fire. I'm on fire.
Oh my God.
I'm on fire.
You're not on fire.
Ah! Ah! Help me, Jesus! Help me, Jesus God! Help me, Allah! Help me, Tom Cruise! Ah! I'm on fire! I'm on fire!
You're not on fire.
I'm on fire!
You're not on fire.
I'm on fire!